Hello, and welcome to the 19th Annual Green Living Festival, bringing sustainable solutions to you from the Earthways Center at the Missouri Botanical Garden. I'm Jean Ponzi from the Earthways team. The Green Living Festival is presented by Ameren, Missouri, which is energizing these efforts to use our electrons to the best advantage and focus on green living on June 6th, energy on June 9th, and naturescaping on June 11th. With our exhibitors, with live panels, with workshops, family activities, yoga, and much more. You can connect to all of it at mobot.org/greenlivingfest. This is an exhibitor interview, and it's my great pleasure to get to talk to Emily Andrews. She's the Executive Director of the U.S. Green Building Council, Missouri Gateway Chapter, and in my humble opinion, a green giant in our community, especially in the energy department. Emily Andrews and the U.S. Green Building Council, you all have been leaders in making green happen in our built environment for so long. Why is it important to focus on buildings when you're talking about green?
Well, it's really important to focus on buildings because they represent about 40% of the greenhouse gas emissions in the United States. That's the energy that's used to power our buildings, but also the energy that it requires to build those buildings as well. And that's a pretty significant chunk of a climate impact that buildings have. So that's one reason. They also, all the things that happen in buildings, we can impact a lot of different things, the way we purchase things for our buildings, the way we handle the waste that comes out of our buildings, the way we handle the landscaping around our buildings. There's a lot that buildings can impact in the environment.
And that's totally true, whether you're in a home or a school or a place of worship or a place of work or any building, right?
Correct. Yeah, we can make big differences in our homes and in all of our buildings.
Okay, you have a couple of slides to show us here, Emily, about programs. Let's get those up. So Emily, you're spotlighting two of the major efforts from USGBC Missouri Gateway. Green Schools Quest, tell us about that first.
Yeah, well, these are two programs that we would normally share at a live festival, so happy to share them at a virtual festival as well. The Green Schools Quest is a program that challenges our K through 12 schools to implement low and no cost sustainability projects over the course of the school year. We pair them, the participating schools, up with a volunteer green mentor to assist them in their projects. It's meant to be very much student driven, and we just wrapped up the 2019 and 2020 school year Green Schools Quest in May. We were able to announce all the winners, and virtually. We normally would have had a big event, but we're happy to celebrate all the success that the schools contributed this year. And it was really fun to watch all the videos of the different perspectives of participants.
And we have links to those videos from the Green Living Festival website. And I totally encourage you, if you're coming to this festival online, check out the Green Schools Quest material. Emily, what will the timetable be for schools and mentors to get involved in the Green Schools Quest for the next round?
I do believe that we have applications or registration open right now for schools and mentors to sign up to participate. So you can visit the greenschoolsquest.org website. That actually just directs you to our main website to find out more. And we'll be we usually pair up the schools and mentors in September, and then they kick off their projects in October. So we look forward to doing that again.
Just real quickly, what are examples of the kinds of projects that students decide they want to do, that the mentors help them and their teachers with?
Yeah, it really ranges from all different kinds of projects. There are a lot of waste-related projects, I will say, because that's a very tangible thing that you can address in the course of the school year. So a lot of cafeteria waste audits, looking at the different waste streams and how the students might be able to reduce waste in their cafeterias. So food waste comes up a lot, but also there are a lot of schools that are still using styrofoam trays for to serve their food on. So trying to address that issue as well, whether they get replaced with compostables or go back to the old-fashioned way of doing dishes. So lots of waste related, but one of my favorite projects ever was a project that the Jennings High School did. It was called Cozy Classrooms. They had decided that their classrooms were cold and drafty. They had single pane windows. It was not, the windows weren't particularly high quality, I guess I would say. And so they did all the research to determine what it would take to weatherize those windows. They picked the best kind of weatherizing materials for their particular school, and they did a cost benefit analysis to determine how much they would save, and then they did the actual weatherizing themselves in all the classrooms, and it was really a great really impactful project, I think.
Wow, I hope Jennings High School won the Green Schools Quest.
Yeah, well, that was a project from a few years ago,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they did actually win that year. So, yeah.
So examples of what students can do, what kids can do, and especially when kids and professionals and teachers are paired up, there is so much of this kind of really good work happening around our community. And I know the Green Schools Quest is going to go statewide out into rural Missouri in the coming couple of years through a partnership with the Missouri Environmental Education Association.
Right, we're working on a Missouri Green Schools program. So
Woo-hoo.
it'll be kind of tiered. The Green Schools Quest will still exist, but then you can kind of move on to the next level with the Missouri Green Schools program. So
it's kind of like, weeds, many of which are native plants, or grass growing through concrete, the prevalence of this. And then better buildings through benchmarking. This is a big campaign that's addressing energy, and we're talking on Energy Day here at the festival.
right. Well, this project we launched several years ago, actually. It's been quite a while, to encourage buildings in our region to reduce their energy use by taking one simple step and benchmarking their energy use. And this is really the process of tracking your energy use for at least, you want to creating a baseline with a year's worth of energy data. You can also benchmark your water use in a building. And then to compare that baseline to your past performance, or use that baseline to look at your performance over time. Mm-hmm. But also you can, by using a tool called Energy Star Portfolio Manager, compare your building performance to similar buildings to see how you kind of stack up.
What's your famous phrase, your famous tagline about that, Emily Andrews?
I did not make this up, but I do say it all the time. You can't manage what you don't measure, and that's what benchmarking is all about.
And you mentioned Energy Star Portfolio Manager. It's an online tool. It's open source.
Yep, absolutely free to use, paid for by our tax dollars, I assume, at some point. It's managed by the Environmental Protection Agency, and you can use it to input your monthly energy use, and then continue to track that over time.
And since the Missouri Gateway chapter was chartered in St. Louis, you have had so many events and gatherings and created such a network of professionals across the building industry. You've got a couple of images of that. Yes, Emily?
Yes, I do have a couple of images of that. So just some fun pictures of when we used to meet in person, which I really miss. But we host a lot of educational opportunities. We have monthly evening programs and lead exam prep. And you'll see a picture there on the left of the Green Schools Quest participants, and on the right, a former staff member and a volunteer helping a congregation with their Energy Star certification, which you can achieve if you have a certain score in Portfolio Manager. So lots of great things going on. And
well, cool thing, very cool, one of many cool parts of the Green Living Festival, there is a U.S. Green Building Council event, a tour spotlighting projects. Tell us about that.
Yeah, June 9th is our annual Green Building Showcase. So we've been doing this program for as long as I've had this job, and even longer, where we feature 3 or 4 different projects, local projects that are pursuing some sort of green building certification or strategies. So we are going to be hearing about the Gardens Jack C. Taylor Visitor Center, which is pursuing LEED Gold certification. we're excited that is currently under construction. In fact, I think all of these projects are under construction or getting ready to be. So then we'll also be hearing about the Waterway project in Forest Park, which is pursuing sites certification. And then also about the nature playscape in Forest Park. We love Forest Park this year. And that project is not pursuing a certification, but it is actually really under construction right now. If anybody's been to the park lately, it's near the World's Fair Pavilion, and will provide just an amazing ecological restoration of that area, but also a space where kids and adults can really explore nature and ecology on their own, kind of in their own ways. So.
Yeah. So that'll be really fun. And when you go to mobat.org/greenlivingfest, there will be links to all of these events, some of which are live, all of which will be recorded when they are presented live so that you can view them at your leisure. And then Emily, last, and I want to say most significant to me, is your final slide and some of the work that the U.S. Green Building Council is doing in partnership with the City of St. Louis, working on really establishing regulations, not only setting a benchmark, but making it the official goal to achieve energy efficiency. Yay.
Yes, we have been working in partnership with the City of St. Louis for several years now to help them with some of their energy efficiency initiatives. They've been participating in a couple of different projects, national projects that are supporting cities in their climate goals. And the first project we worked on was to get building energy awareness ordinance passed, which requires buildings that are 50,000 square feet and greater to report their energy and water use annually to the city. So that's benchmarking, requiring benchmarking of those buildings. And so that's been happening for several years now. And then just recently, the city passed the Building Energy Performance Standard, which takes things kind of to the next level and requires those same buildings to actually meet an energy performance target by 2025. So we'll be rolling those targets will be, the city is working in partnership with Washington University. They have a climate analyst that's looking at the current benchmarking data to determine what those targets should be. And they'll be released in May of next year. And then the buildings will have until 2025 to meet those standards. So really trying to really trying to move the needle on energy use in buildings.
Energy use, climate protection, and money saving. When your building is more energy efficient, you're saving bucks and it's more comfortable and hopefully also a healthier building.
Yeah, absolutely saving money and absolutely affecting public health, because the energy we're using in our buildings right now is from fossil fuels. And so, it does create air pollution. So anything we can do to reduce that is going to make a difference.
So Emily Andrews, from your perspective as the leader of the U.S. Green Building Council and the hub of the wheel of so many professionals across all the different specializations in the building industry, what are your top couple of recommendations as to how the average person, may not be a building operations manager, can best use the resources of USGBC?
Well, I think that one way is to encourage the schools that you might have some connection with to participate in the Green Schools Quest. That may be your kid's school, your grandkid's school, the school where you went to grade school or high school. So definitely, if they're not already involved, to encourage them to get involved. And then with benchmarking, you can benchmark the energy in your own home. In Portfolio Manager. You don't get a score, but it is a good way to track your energy use and see how you're doing month over month. And in addition, we're always looking to help entities, nonprofits, and congregations benchmark their building energy use so that they can save money on energy and put that towards their mission. So if you are involved with a congregation or a nonprofit that you think would benefit, please feel free to reach out to us. We have volunteers and staff that can help.
And all of that is being done virtually. It's all made the transition from in-person to online.
Yep, absolutely.
So nimble.
We do
Green buildings are better, Emily Andrews. That's one of your taglines again, and um, not only energy, but how we clean them and how durable they are and what's the grounds around them like.
Right. Yes. Indoor air quality is, I think, probably becoming more and more important as we're spending so much time in our homes and indoors. So that's definitely, there's a lot there to look at with the materials that we use, and like you said, the cleaning products that we use. That all affects our indoor air quality.
And you're on the team that is bringing us the programming for Energy Day, Tuesday, June 9th, for the Green Living Festival.
I am.
So much great stuff that people can learn.
Right. There's a lot of stuff. There's really a lot of good information that people can dig into that day. A couple of live events and a couple of recorded events that I think will help people think about what they can do in their own homes as well.
The Green Building Showcase, the Green Schools Quest videos. I believe there's a whole video about indoor air quality and healthy homes indoors and energy.
Yep, there is, and then we'll also be the Green Power Hour is happening that day. So if people are interested in solar for their home, they can attend that and learn more about how they might make that that happen.
And we'll have a tour, I believe, of a passive house, a house that makes use of the energy that they don't have to use in the first place.
Yes, yeah, that'll be fun.
Thank you, Emily Andrews, Executive Director of the U.S. Green Building Council.
Thanks, Jean. It was fun to do this.
Green Living Festival thanks you for participating in this virtual cavalcade of learning about sustainable solutions for you. We want to thank our presenting sponsor, Ameren, Missouri, for energizing this virtual festival, coming to you from the staff and volunteers of the Earthway Center at Missouri Botanical Garden. I'm Jean Ponzi. Please check our website online. This may be something you want to bookmark because there are resources that you can attend live as well as things that you can view at your leisure. mobot.org/Green Living Festival. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for the green things you do. Thanks for staying well and safe as well as green.